Welcome back to another Iron Stream video. I'm here today with Samuel to discuss the latest news and what's going on in football and other stuff. Okay, right, so Bolingoli has got himself in the headlines recently. He's been a naughty little fella. What are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, he's gone to Spain for a day. First of all, you go to Spain for a day. What are you going to do? Well, goodness knows what he was doing anyway, I don't know. But very irresponsible. He basically got called an idiot by Celtic themselves in their club's statement. But the thing I find interesting about this is I think they're making a big thing over it when it's not such a big thing. Because even not Bolly, obviously, he should probably never play for Celtic again because he's been an idiot. However, he got tested. The entire Celtic team got tested and they all tested negative. So I think to talk about scrapping Scottish football or temporarily postponing it, is there really any need?
No, not at all. But what he has done has raised that question, and it is appalling. And I think to set the tone for the footballers around the world, Celtic need to sack Bolingoli to make sure it doesn't happen again. And he hasn't lived up to his name, has he? Bolingoli.
Yeah, when he first joined, I thought he'd be a great player, and that was just because of what his name was, really. But yeah, he's not been that good anyway, so he wouldn't be a big loss. And then Aberdeen as well. 8 of their players broke lockdown regulations, and 2 tested positive for the virus. So that is a problem, to be fair. But
yeah. Well, I think Bolingoli has done the work. Other Premier League players broke rules during the lockdown, but this one has been the big one that's really been the worst thing that he could have done. Any more thoughts on the Scottish football situation?
Well, one interesting thing about people say, well, Bolly's gone missing. Surely Neil Lennon has noticed that he's not been at training. But I fail to see why Lennon would notice anyway, because he's never done anything noticeable in a Celtic shirt in his life. So, yeah, but it's a stupid thing to do. There's no way back for him now, you would think. So,
yeah.
But I still don't think Scottish football needs to be postponed for that long.
No, he's let everyone down. Okay, right, let's move on then. Højbjerg or Højbjerg or whatever, however you pronounce it, 20 million.
I say Højbjerg, but
it was about £15 million, wasn't it, for Spurs? A good signing, in my opinion.
I'm not even sure a price has come out yet. I haven't actually seen any, but I think it'll be a good signing because even though when you look at the transfer window, you just want to see Tottenham sign Gareth Bale, or I do anyway, and players like that. But the thing is, Højbjerg, normally I wouldn't be getting too excited about that kind of transfer, but Mourinho's clearly, he's not going to change. He's going to keep his style of play. So we need players who are good defensively, and I think he'll be a decent signing.
Yeah, he was very good for Southampton, and Spurs aren't wildly better than Southampton in that it's such a big step up for Højbjerg. So he should fit into the team quite nicely and probably get a few first team starts. And there's not a lot of competition. Well, there are a few players, but they're not world class. So
the thing is, Tottenham's defence was so bad this past season, so he's definitely a necessary addition to the squad. So,
do you think there are any more important players that Spurs should be signing this transfer window?
Yeah, quite a few. A new right back, a new left back, maybe 2 new centre backs. There are definitely additions needed. A new striker as well. If you actually look at it, they need loads because they've got no good right backs. Kyle Walker-Peters just joined Southampton permanently. Aurier's no good. Ben Davies isn't brilliant. Danny Rose, he's not going to get back into the first team squad. Backup striker, you've got no one backing up Harry Kane. Troy Parrott's been sent out on loan to Millwall. So, yeah, there's quite a few players that Tottenham need to sign, really.
Yeah, that's still a good signing. And Southampton, I think, valued him around 35 million or something, and they've got him for a lot cheaper. So a decent work from Daniel Levy, even if he doesn't do everything perfect. But there you go. So what next? Champions League is starting tonight with Atalanta versus PSG. And a lot of people saying PSG actually could be favourites for this competition. I'm not so sure, but what are your thoughts on that fixture and PSG?
Well, the thing is, a lot of people talk about, are PSG the favourites, are Man City the favourites? None of PSG or Man City have ever even made it to a Champions League final, have they? I can't remember them doing so.
I think so.
So I think PSG are not the favourites. I think Man City are better than PSG. I think Bayern are better than them. I mean, Barcelona, if Barcelona were to play PSG, I would see Barcelona as being the favourites. I mean, they should be beating Atalanta. I hope they don't, to be fair. It would be nice to see Atalanta get even further, but I don't think PSG have the winning mentality to actually do that well in Europe because, I mean, they win their own French league every season, but Champions League, it's a step up, so...
But a team that does have that winning mentality, Atletico Madrid, and they've really become my sort of favourites, or sort of outside bet, out as opposed to Man City and PSG, because they win games. And this one game thing they're doing here, this is a big chance for Atletico, in my opinion. I think.
Did you say they have a winning mentality?
Yeah,
because they bottled it a couple of times in the final.
Yeah, but they can win games without playing particularly very well, and that's the sort of team.
That's
that
their style of play. But I mean, I wouldn't rule out Atletico making the final, but the past record shows that the chances of them winning are not that big.
Well, we'll see. I think the final should be either Bayern or Man City, the winner of that fixture in the semi-final. Supposing Bayern beat Barcelona, which I think they will, against Atletico Madrid. So really looking forward to that one. So
that's an interesting one, because if I had to predict who's going to win the Champions League, well, actually, I wouldn't rule out Man City, but the first two teams I would think of would be Barcelona and Bayern. But if I predict one to win the thing and then they end up losing, well, I mean, it's going to look like a very bad prediction. But I think Barcelona still are probably the team I think will win the Champions League. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't.
I get you, but they're up against Bayern Munich, and then they've got Man City. That's like, they're very difficult fixtures for a side that hasn't been doing very well this season. Now, they've got Messi, and I get that, and he's the best player in the world. He's capable of beating teams on his own. But the team in general, I wouldn't predict to beat Bayern.
But to be fair, if you look at it, like Real Madrid finished like third in La Liga in one season, and they've still won the Champions League. I mean, yeah, Barcelona haven't had the best season, but it only takes a couple of matches. I mean, Lionel Messi, players like him can just do anything in a game. They could just flick that switch, and all of a sudden the tide's turned. So
yeah, well,
yeah.
Any more news going on at the moment that you want to talk about?
Well, there was one thing yesterday. There was a tweet by Rachel Riley. To be honest, I don't know a thing about her. She's been in the news a couple of times recently. Honestly, I don't care much. However, it did cross my mind yesterday. I had no idea why some tweet she did was trending, because basically it was just something about someone had called her a glory hunter for supporting Man United when she's from like Essex or something. So she fires back and says, "You're an Arsenal fan who lives in India. Why is that racist?" World's gone mad.
I read through the comments and I was absolutely baffled. And these people, I mean, Rachel Riley, what can she say without getting called racist? It's ridiculous these days.
I mean, again, I say I don't know anything about her, but just taking the tweet in itself, at the end of the day, if you're getting called a glory hunter by an Arsenal fan who lives in it, it's nothing to do with race. It's the fact that this person supports a team who wins trophies and they live on the other side of the world. So if they're calling you a glory hunter, then they're clearly a hypocrite. So they're being called out for it.
Yeah. Right. Any more final words to round up the video?
Don't think so, but just one thing from you. Who do you think is going to win the Champions League?
Well, I'm going to say Man City based on the pathways. I think they'll beat Lyon. I think they'll beat Bayern Munich. Well, it should be a very good game. And then PSG or Atletico Madrid in the final. Or Atlanta. You never know. They might make it there. But I think Man City will win, yeah.
Okay, Europa League as well. Down to 4 teams left. Inter Milan, Manchester United, Sevilla, and who's the other one?
Shakhtar Donetsk.
Shakhtar. Picking a winner out of them, I think Man United should be favourites, although they didn't do great against Copenhagen. But United or Inter, and I'd probably go United.
Yeah, I think they should beat Sevilla, albeit Sevilla obviously very good in this competition. But man to man, they've got the pace, power. They should beat them and then Inter Milan as well. So I'll say Man United and Man City, 2 Manchester winners for the European competitions. How about that?
It could happen.
Yeah.